Dark Stranger. Dark Stranger! Have you arrived?
Yes, Master Shopnip, I'm here.
And do you remember the plan?
I do. Take this chip and insert it into that idiot reviewer's moronic robotic assistant. The virus inside will turn him to our side and contains instructions for him to build a dimensional shifter. Before that moron knows what hit him, he'll be doing his reviews in Corinth or some other faraway place.
Excellent. You seem to understand it well.
Indeed. However, if the plan doesn't work, I was thinking...
My orders didn't include thinking, fool! If you don't screw this up, everything will work just fine. Now get to it!
Yes, Master. Man, I've gotta hit the warheads. Easy. Easy. And there. Give my regards to your master, Robo Fool.
Alright, it's time to get to Vrak is Back Part 2. Kaizoku, you ready to do this?
I don't think so.
What? Kaizoku? Whoa. What happened to you?
I've been certified shadowfied, and I'm in the mood to finally shut you up. I'm gonna zap you straight into another dimension. Another dimension, another dimension, another dimension, another dimension.
Dark Stranger. Man, that guy. Kaizoku, listen to me. Stay very still. I think if I blast you just right, I can reset your systems.
Ah, fat chance. Send me a postcard from wherever you end up. Nah.
Dragon Blast Fire! Whoa!
Whoa, I think that explosion knocked me straight. Are you okay, Sean? I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, I think so. Listen, it wasn't you, it was the Dark Stranger's virus. Let's just get to work on the review.
You got it. Whoa, Sean, you're
What?
a ghost. Look in the camera monitor.
What? Whoa! The explosion must have pushed me partially out of this dimension. I wonder where the other half of me is. More importantly, what do we do now?
I can use the instructions from the virus to reverse the process, but it's gonna take some time. Go ahead and do the review. I'll get started on this.
Like this? Well, Halloween was last night. I guess I can do one review as Ghost Sean. Let's do it. Hey there, bats and ghouls, and welcome to another Power Rangers Super Megaforce episode review. Like me, the story of Vrak is Back was only half formed before today. So while you sift through the rest of your trick-or-treat candy you haven't eaten yet, let's dive into episode 17, Vrak is Back, Part 2. The episode begins with a 34-second recap of Part 1. Most of it is Vrak expositing. Just like Part 1 itself! Hey-o! In the underwater base, Vrak sets the next phase of his plan into motion. Drillhorn will do exactly what Tresnag did, get destroyed and become a drill. I still say that this would have more impact if we had ever seen these characters before, or knew why they're so loyal to Vrak that they're willing to die for him and be honored to do so. Dark Robo Knight calls dibs on the Rangers. The Rangers find the latest drill and wonder what to do next, but don't worry, Gia's got this. She steps forward confidently, sneers at the drill, pulls out her Gosei Morpher, and uses Rock Rush. This would be kind of like trying to stop Vrak by throwing an actual rock at him. As expected, nothing happens. Vrak shows up with Dark Robo Knight. Troy sends Emma to use the command ship to try to take out the drill. He says this because, according to him, she knows how to fly it. Is she the only one of them that knows how to fly it? All of a sudden, the Rangers are really concerned with possibly hurting Robo Knight. One, they didn't seem all that concerned last week. And two, they haven't really come close to hurting him anyway. Emma flies the command ship in, but its lasers have no effect on the drill. Credit where credit is due. This is original footage, and this is a totally different explanation than Gosager of why the Pink Ranger was absent from this battle. Vrak tells Dark Robo Knight to destroy the Rangers, and he says, "With pleasure." This is a little out of character. Good or evil, Robo Knight doesn't really take pleasure in his mission. As DRK walks through the Rangers, Vrak says, "Knight takes pawns." Okay, Vrak, we get it. He's a knight, like a chess piece, so chess sayings. Check. Oops, that's also a chess pun. DRK literally pimp slaps Troy. Seriously, backhand across the face of the helmet. I was stunned. More on this later. Troy, stepping up as a leader, tells the other Rangers that he'll take care of Dark Robo Knight himself, and for them to go take on Vrak. And, like a good team, they completely ignore his orders and chase after him, only to get stopped by Drillhorn. Last week I said I found it odd that Noah was getting all the one-on-one monster fights. Well, Troy, the writer, someone must have heard me, because Troy gets a one-on-one fight with Dark Robo Knight that is, and these words feel really weird coming out of my mouth to describe anything in this season, absolutely epic. Troy is very agile, jumping around and avoiding attacks, trying to restrain Dark Robo Knight and talk some sense into him. Meanwhile, when DRK does land hits, they are brutal. Point-blank blaster shots to the chest, throwing Troy around this warehouse that they're in. There's some excellent wire work in this scene. I think most of it is Sentai footage, but still, it's pretty sweet. Drillhorn is beating the other Rangers 17 shades of stupid when Emma just shows up, apparently having given up on the command ship plan. There's a parody Sentai in Japan called Akiba Ranger, and one of the things it talks about is things that raise victory or defeat flags in a Sentai or Power Rangers season. Well, here's one to add to the defeat flag list. Growing a monster when it hasn't been blown up first. Vrak has Drillhorn grow, and the Rangers summon Gosei Ultimate. For the next few minutes, the episode jumps back and forth a bit too much for my liking. The fight between Troy and Dark Robo Knight was sweet, and even the fight between Drillhorn and Gosei Ultimate wasn't bad, but just when I'd start getting excited for one, they'd switch it back to the other. So, since I last mentioned the Megazord fight, I'll start with that and then double back to Troy and Dark Robo Knight. Gosei Ultimate gets knocked down, and Gia comes up with the genius plan of, let's get up and hit him hard. Gosei Ultimate does get up, and the Rangers activate its Ultimate Strike, which destroys Drillhorn. Back with Troy, our intrepid Red Ranger is getting worn down by DRK. He goes from Ultra Mode to Basic to Unmorphed, but he refuses to give up on him. The other Rangers show up, but Troy tells them to stay back. This time they listen to their leader, just standing where they are and yelling at him. 16 plus episodes into this season, Andrew Gray finally gets the opportunity to act, showing some real determination and pathos. Their fight does end on a bit of a squib, though. Troy reaches deep inside himself and goes Super Saiyan. He glows red and lightning-y, and he punches DRK right in the chest. And of course, this knocks him down and his senses up. His visor regains its red color and he loses the whole dark thing. The scream that Troy unleashes is right on that line between emotional and hammy. So, you want to know what it was that Troy did? So would I. It's not explained, but I'm used to that by this point. In fact, Robo Knight says that it was Troy's voice that pierced the darkness around him, apparently oblivious to glowy fisty times. Robo Knight tells the Rangers that he may be damaged beyond repair, though they want to take him to the command cave and let Gosei give it a shot. Plot point! As Noah calls Tenso about this, Drillhorn finally gets around to dropping the horn part of his name and becoming the third Drill. The Rangers wonder what to do, and Gosei tells them all to return to the command cave so they can regroup. But unbeknownst to them, Robo Knight says that he knows what he needs to do, and says goodbye to his true friends. When the Rangers turn around, he's gone. Geez, just can't keep a hold of that guy. The Rangers return to the command cave in low spirits. Vrak's plan is nearly complete, Orion is still captured, and now a badly injured Robo Knight is MIA. Gia rattles all of this out in a line that actually shows some real emotional depth. But Troy looks to the Ranger key wall and sees that one of their keys is no longer stone. It's Robo Knight's key, and not only is it restored, it's glowing. Troy tells us that this means that Robo Knight is not only alive, but doing something good. I'm glad he mentioned that because I don't know how that means that at all. Of course, I'm not even sure why Robo Knight has a key. He strikes me as much more of a Zord than a Ranger, though yes, Vrak did refer to him as a 6th Ranger, and when he transforms, we hear Gosei's voice say, Robo Knight morph. What's better is that the Megaforce keys don't seem to have a spot in the command cave, as Robo Knight's key is unceremoniously plopped between Jungle Fury and RPM. Way down in Deep 13, Orion is almost completely drained, now with silver and white hair. Robo Knight shows up in the base to confront Vrak, but Vrak just blasts him with his wings, and then blasts the base console, saying he'll destroy the base to take the 2 Rangers out. Robo Knight says that he at least needs to save the Silver Ranger, as explosions rock the dome. Back at the command cave, Robo Knight's key stops glowing. Emma asks if this means, and Troy confirms it, Robo Knight has been destroyed. Besides again wondering what his key glowing has anything to do with his status, the actors convey some excellent emotion at this loss, and the Rangers head out to get their revenge on Vrak. Vrak uses the orbs from last time to activate the drills, but the Rangers show up to stop him. They morph and form the Megaforce blaster in the exact same footage sequence from last week. Though this time the footage continues and shows them jumping out of the explosion in Ultra Mode and finally landing some hits. However, Vrak stops their Ultra Strike cold. Vrak causes an eclipse and the Rangers decide that if at first you don't succeed, put your weapons together again. This time Vrak blasts back, so we get that classic cliched battle between beams. At first the Rangers just add to their resolve, but then they land on the genius idea of grabbing their blasters to add to the attack. Vrak survives, but he's staggered. Vrak and the Rangers, mainly Troy, preach back and forth at each other for a while. Vrak is determined to destroy the world, but the Rangers are going to keep fighting and never give up and Vrak says that the only way for them to stop the drills is to defeat him, because, of course it is. Troy suddenly realizes that the eclipse should increase his power. Gosei enthusiastically agrees, telling Troy that it should enhance the power of his Sky Strike 1,000-fold. Because, you know, eclipses are in the sky? Troy's unmorphed scream from earlier in the episode gets a matching morphed moment of determination as Troy screams that this is for Earth and Robo Knight. He lands the blow and Vrak is defeated. Or is he? I mean, the drills do indeed dissolve, but not only does he not explode, but he's shown lying on the ground. The Rangers walk down to the beach's edge because the plot told them to, and they see somebody lying in the sand. Yes, it's Orion, and he's okay. Back in the command cave, he tells the Rangers the story that Robo Knight sacrificed what remained of his life force to save his life. Gosei tells the Rangers that Robo Knight's 6th Ranger energy is a part of Orion now, and he's sure that they're now going to defeat the Armada. Hey, remember them? This was basically the show's way of saying, don't worry, we'll be back to Ranger keys and pirate suits next week, kids. I found myself liking this episode a lot more than I was expecting to. I said last week that I hope these episodes pulled a reverse silver lining, and they actually kind of did. Week 1 set up all the exposition, setting up Vrak's very complex plan. Part 2 was for the action, the stakes. And this part is for hoisting the colors. Episode 17, Vrak is Back, Part 2. Pros, excellent action and fights, got away from the heavy exposition, and the acting from the Rangers was significantly improved. Cons, still a Megaforce finale, Vrak is gone, we think, and that's sad, and still too many unanswered questions. Nobody is more surprised by this than me. Vrak is Back Part 2 gets 4 flags out of 5. Episodes 16 and 17, Vrak is Back. Pros, excellent stakes to start a final arc. Vrak's plan was genius and well executed, and Dark Robo Knight was chilling. Cons, this was not worth keeping Megaforce suits alive. Vrak's plan involved a ton of totally unexplained things, and using Gosager's finale to raise the stakes felt cheap. In honor of Vrak, we raise 3 flags out of 5 to half-mast. I'm telling you guys, if these episodes had been at the end of Megaforce, I would have scored them a lot higher. But oh well, at least the story of Vrak is now complete. Unlike me, who's still... Ow! Hey, what gives?
Sorry, I thought you'd want me to zap you back as soon as I was ready.
Good point. I like not being see-through. Good job, buddy. These episode titles are starting to reflect the feeling that they were running out of creative gas. From a start where we've been getting titles like Silver Lining and The Perfect Storm, we get to these episodes and it's what happened in those ones? Oh, 16 and 17, that Vrak is back. And now, episode 18, this coming Saturday, what happens in that episode? Oh, 18, that's Emperor Mavro. Emperor Mavro comes to Earth with his personal fleet to avenge his son's death and arrest Damras for failing to protect the prince. He gives Damras a chance to redeem himself by destroying the Rangers. That's going to make another Power Rangers Super Megaforce episode review whole. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and leave some comments for me to respond to right down below. Until next time, may the power protect you. He is not going to be happy about this. Oh, right you are. So, you managed to screw it up. Do you have any thoughts on that? No, sir. That's right, you don't! Now, get back here. I've got plenty of plans.